Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, adjust your wigs, toupees, and roll down those socks and secure your emotions because this moment on Hindsight Media Radio 103.5 FM, we are stepping into a story that will grab your heart, shake your spirit, and make you rethink every time you've said, I trust you too fast. Welcome to a soul charged, truth telling conversation about the stage play Can I Borrow Some Trust? A production so real, so raw, and so necessary. It should come with a box of tissues and a prayer partner. This play is not your average lights, camera, action. No, this is lights, truth, healing, and accountability. It's the kind of story that makes you laugh, cry, clutch your pearls, and then call your best friend to say, Girl, you need to see this. Joining us today, we have the brilliant minds behind this masterpiece, the writer and director, along with the powerhouse cast, who brings these characters to life with honesty, fire, and emotional depth. So lean in, turn your volumes up, and get ready for a conversation that is bold, beautiful, and dripping in purpose. This is storytelling with a heartbeat, and this is Can I Borrow Some Trust? Welcome, everyone. Let's begin with the creative architect behind all of this, the writer and director who built this emotional empire, Levitra Sullivan. Please introduce yourself to the Hindsight family and welcome.
Good morning. I am Levitra Sullivan. I am a resident of Orangeburg, South Carolina, born and raised in Kingstree, South Carolina. I am a teacher, so of course I have a love for reading and writing. Um, so I started my writing journey as a child in school, in elementary school, junior high school, all the way through high school and college. And so this was something that I wanted to see um, come to life. So I am the writer and producer, director of the stage play Can I Borrow Some Trust? And I also have the book Can I Borrow Some Trust? And I have written another book as well entitled I'm Free. I have two daughters, Diamond and Emerald, from a 14-year marriage. And of course, this is what the play is about. So you'll hear a little bit more about that as we go along. But that is who I am, Levitra Sullivan.
I love that. And thank you for that amazing share. And I love your girls' names, Diamond and Emerald. That's so
Thank you.
amazing. Very cute. Now, family, let's meet the phenomenal cast bringing this story to life. Please introduce yourselves by your real name and then the character that you portray. You can come off mute and someone can feel free to go first.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Elmore, and I play the role of Dr. Lorraine Elmore, and I'm also the narrator.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jacqueline.
Good morning. My name is Lashika Jackson. I play the role of First Lady Smith.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hello, my name is Ruth Walker. I play the role of Tiffany.
Pleasure to meet you, Ruth, and thank you for your service. And it's great to see your beautiful face again. And for those that do not know Ruth, Ruth is also a singer, so we love her voice.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jamal Brown, and I'm playing Todd.
All right, welcome, Jamal. And of course, audience, there are so many other cast members who could not join us here today, but we wish them well. And hopefully one day we'll get to hear their voices on the station. If not, guess what? You have to attend Can I Borrow Some Trust to see it live in October. So again, welcome everyone to Hindsight Media Radio 103.5 FM, where there's always something good to talk about. So, Levitra, what inspired you to write Can I Borrow Some Trust?
Can I Borrow Some Trust was written out of pure, raw emotions after being married for 14 years to an alcoholic and divorcing and just needing to get the story out. So it is my first book. I started writing probably in 2010, I would say, and it got published in 2017. So lots of drafts, lots of tears, lots of just trying to get the story out. So that was the inspiration. I wanted to share with people not just my story, but I wanted to be able to help people who may feel stuck um in relationships, toxic relationships, and just not knowing where to turn. So that was the inspiration behind the story, writing the story.
Absolutely. Now, hearing your background, when specifically did the story first speak to your spirit and as well as your book?
I would say around 2010, right after I separated and divorced around 2011. I always journaled, but that was when everything just started coming together as far as what I needed to say, what I needed to get out. And that's when I always knew that I wanted to write a book. So I would say that that was the time when I said, okay, I need to put this in a book. I need to get this out. And then years later, as time went by, I was in a prayer meeting, and you will see a reenactment of this in the stage play. um, I was at a prayer meeting, and there was a minister, a guy that I did not know, I had never met. And I was standing there just kind of disgruntled, like, why am I here? And he took his Bible and he literally hit me on the head and said,
Mm,
what are you waiting for to write that book? And I was like, okay, God. And so that's when I really had to say, okay, let me get this done.
absolutely. So, but why such a bold title, an unforgettable title? Can I borrow some trust?
Okay. So I prayed and I asked God what the title of the book should be. And there were many times throughout my marriage that I might have turned to others, trying whether it was money, a car. There were times where I actually had to borrow my sister's car because we shared one vehicle, or one vehicle went out. So as I would ask God, where am I going to turn? Who am I going to turn to? I don't want to ask this person for any more money. I need to borrow some money. I need to, do something. And the title came, can you borrow some trust? Can I, God was speaking to me, you need to borrow trust. And so then I said, okay, can I borrow some trust? And
Mm,
we know that it is a rhetorical question. It is, we literally cannot borrow trust, but we have to have trust. We have to have faith in God. And so it was a title that stuck out to me. And I believe, when people ask me and I say that, they're like, wow, so I believe it was really, it came from God. And yeah, that's how I came up with the title.
love that. Now, touching on just a couple of the characters, what message were you, without giving it all away, were you determined to deliver through Valerie's journey?
Okay, so Valerie is the main character.
Oh,
So the message that I wanted to deliver through Valerie is to, one, speak up. Valerie suffers in silence.
mm,
And a lot of times we go through situations because we are so afraid of what others may think, or, we're ashamed when people already see. They can see what you're going through, but we think we're hiding and we're covering up things. And I just wanted people to know that it's okay to get help. It's okay to walk away. um there are people who will tell you to stay in toxic or abusive relationships, and that God doesn't. I literally had someone to say God hates divorce.
mm,
Well, I believe he does, but I think he loves us more as children, and he does not want us being abused, and he does not want us in situations that can potentially lead to our death. So I wanted people to see Valerie as strong, but at the same time to know that it's okay. to be okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Yes.
Good stuff. Now, pivoting quickly to Russell, what do you want the listeners to understand about Russell's struggle with addiction?
That's a hard one, Ty, but I want the listeners to know that it is real.
Mm.
Addiction is real. Um, those who are alcoholics or drug addicts, they are not themselves. They don't necessarily know how to get help. Um, that there is help out there, but I want them, maybe someone to see himself or herself and to know the struggle and pain that they may cause their family members themselves.
Mhm.
Number one, but the effect that they have on others, that others really care, and it does hurt others. It hurts their young children, even into adulthood. But just for them to see how um, they impact others' lives and that the need for change.
Good stuff. So before we pivot to having a conversation with the cast, tell us, Levitra, what was the hardest part of writing this story?
The hardest part of writing the story was the truth. Um, knowing that Russell and his family may one day pick up this book and see
Mhm.
themselves, and being transparent, and the fear of them saying she has a book about us, about our lives. So just getting the truth out there, not not and trying not to destroy their characters, who they are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love that. So now, cast, your turn. Tag, you are it. I want you to give me two words that best describe can I borrow some trust and why you chose those two words. So, again, two words to describe can I borrow some trust and why are those your two words? Don't be afraid. Jacqueline, you're already off mute. Let's get it. Let's go.
Good morning. Good morning. And um, one would be powerful because it's just a powerful message because a lot of people go through this situation and they can see themselves or see a family member or a relative or a friend, and then they can look back and say, wow, this is what they were going through or dealing with, and we had no clue, no idea. Also, kind of exciting because it just touches on different emotions. I just love Valerie and Russell. Their chemistry together is just amazing. So you're gonna laugh a little, you might cry a little, but you will walk away with something.
Love that. And for the rest of you, if you only have one powerful word, that's okay. But two would be great. So, who's the brave soul to go next?
Good morning again. I would say for me, one would be I don't want to so much piggyback off of Jacqueline, but one would be reality. This is something that does happen in real life to individuals. So I would say it's a reality check. Two, I would say is more for me sad.
Mm.
And when I say sad is because to see our sisters and brothers go through whether it's domestic or being mistreated due to um, any drug abuse or alcohol abuse. It's sad to see the individual go through that. So my two is realistic, real, and it's a sad play.
Understood. All right, Jamal.
Yes, good morning. Two words to describe this play for me would be uh trying to think. One would be needed because this play really highlights those hard conversations that we as a community we need to hear is it's time to have those difficult taboo conversations, and this play brings it right to the forefront, those conversations that we don't want to have with each other, but those conversations that really take over and change a bad situation and make it better. um, and another word I would have to say, it's a very spiritual play.
Mm,
Obviously this is focused on a marriage, a relationship, but it goes further than that. It can apply to, you know, a marriage, it can apply to a friendship, it can apply to a work situation, relationship with certain family members. Um, so it's like I said, it's really about the conversations that we don't want to have but are absolutely necessary.
absolutely. Thank you for that. All right, Miss Ruth.
My first word would be relatable. I know that kind of piggybacks off of what Jacqueline Lashika said. But upon auditioning and hearing some of the background story, it kind of, took me by surprise because I realized how much the story somewhat coincides to what I've been through in a previous relationship. So definitely relatable. Definitely some things that people, almost anybody have probably seen. If they haven't been through it, they know somebody who have. So definitely relatable. My second word would be empowering. Throughout the play, you can see how Valerie's confidence shifts and it builds. So I can definitely say empowering because she leans on, she leans on the church, she leans on family to kind of help build her up and be there in that moment. And then when it all comes down to it, having the faith in God to be able to overcome it. So I can definitely say that's one of the, to me, one of the bigger messages, because you see so many women feel like they're stuck in those situations and they stay 20, 30 years and just never feel like they can just get over it. So to be able to see Valerie's confidence build and grow is one of the biggest takeaways for me personally.
I love that. And so I love what you shared because it's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask. Do you see any part of your character reflected in your real life or someone you know? You specifically shared that you have an experience. So what advice would you impart on young women who find themselves in situations as such?
I know it's cliche, but know your worth. Know who you are for yourself. Know that you don't need anybody else to validate you. Um, and just know that you alone are enough. Focus on doing what you need to do to build you first, with the help of family, friends, whoever, and faith. But just know your worth.
Love that. Jacqueline, what part of the script grabbed your heart in the moment that you read it?
I believe it's the part towards the end where Valerie finally decides, this is it. I've had enough. I've done everything I could to save my marriage, to keep my family together. And now it's starting to become violent with him throwing things at me. So, I love him. I don't want to go, but I have to go.
Love that. Now, Lashika, what emotional space did you have to enter to portray your character authentically?
As first lady, I had to both be mutual between the both Russell and his wife. So for me, I had to stay mutual in it and give that godly guidance to both of them.
Good stuff. Now, Jamal, what was the most rewarding part of portraying your character?
I would say the most rewarding part was um, the experience of really portraying somebody that I'm not,
Hmm,
personality wise. My character is really out front, really kind of outspoken. Uh, I'm more a little bit reserved personally. So the challenge of growing uh, as a character and as a person to fit this role is really rewarding for me.
Good stuff. Now, anyone, excuse me, any one of you can answer this question. All of you can answer it as well. What is one thing your character wishes that they could say but never does? What is one thing you wish your character could say but never does?
You mean as far as pertaining to the scene itself or just the overall play?
Overall play.
Mm. Well, like I said, as first lady, I have to conduct myself as being the first lady. However, outside those church doors, where First Lady Sheikah really wanted to say to
Oh my.
Russell, oh my goodness. However, again, it is always, oh, how can you let him talk to you like that? Oh, we're not gonna take so in that line of, oh no, girl, no ma'am, no ham, no Sam, don't do it, get out. But as first lady, I had to conduct myself as being the first lady of the church and you know speak good wisdom and guidance to both of them. So, but it would have been Sheikah in the streets if I really had to say something.
So I want you to elaborate more on that because that to me oftentimes is a little concerning that why, if you are a person of the cloth, right, or you're
Mhm,
in the church, why do you
mhm,
have to turn off? Why can you not keep it real? Now, of course, there's a thing called tact, right? But why
mhm,
can we not, as human beings, have a conversation with someone in our world as you as first lady, right? In this play,
mhm,
but also take you outside of first lady because you really never come outside of first lady. God is who he made
mhm.
you are. You
Right.
just have that role. So why can you not mesh the two and still check whomever needs to be checked respectfully?
And that is the word. You have to remember you could deliver something, but it's all about your deliverance, right?
Sure.
And being mindful of being that first lady, you have to, be mindful that, what would what would Jesus do?
Mhm.
However, uh, you could still deliver without having to be so, using, all the bad words in the world, right?
Sure.
Uh, but um, just keep in mind you have to keep keep God in you and keep guiding you and just move forward. Yes, people seem to be one way in the church and then another way outside the church. However, again, it's all about your deliverance, what you say, the words you say, and the outcome of what goes on or in between the deliverance. So um I could yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Does anyone else want to touch that? One thing your character wishes they could say but never does.
Well,
with
Ty,
my
so-
with my character, being that I'm just the speaker, I think I would want to encourage women to love yourself more because as a wife, as a mother, you tend to put your children, your spouse, your family, your friends, everybody above yourself. And you're usually last. It's okay to love yourself and put yourself first. And no matter how much you want to keep your family together, sometimes you just have to choose you.
Love that. Levitra?
I did not mention that I play Mama Emma, who is Russell's mother.
Mm.
Um, I think I would say not only Russell, get yourself together, but I would tell Valerie, leave him.
Ooh.
You know, I think, and going back to the question that you asked earlier with Lashika, I think it's
Mm.
fear of being looked at as the bad person. Mama Emma is Russell's mother. So there's that sense of loyalty that um, I can't say this because I don't want to hurt, his feelings, or I don't want to be looked at as the bad person. Um, I think that in the church, people are trained to be that, as Lashika said, mutual voice.
Mm.
So we don't want to say, you're wrong, you know. Um, but that could end up hurting people. I was talking to a lady that, during the time, and she said to me, she said, Levitra, the church has gotten people killed.
Mm.
So having that fear of speaking the truth could very well harm somebody, harm someone's life. So I just wanted to share that.
No, thank you for that awesome share. Anybody else want to touch to that?
I think I could kind of say the same thing. Um, I would probably tell Valerie, hey, you should leave. And so I play Tiffany, her sister.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty open to her about how I feel about Russell and the whole situation. So it's not much that I'm not saying, but just that little extra nudge of, all right, this has to be it. Like, come on, so
I love
yeah.
that. Now, I want to ask, and I think this is for each one of you, if your character could borrow some trust from someone, who would it be? Now, it could be someone within the play itself or someone within real life. Because Levitra, for you, this is real life. You experience this, right? So you can choose either the character or you can choose real life or both. If your character could borrow some trust from someone, who would it be?
Well, I would definitely say my mother, she passed in 2020,
Oh,
but
Melissa.
I would, thank you. I would definitely say hands down my mother, because I watched her and just life and how she trusted God. Her faith was in God, and any situation that might have come up, that's who she turned to. And so if you're speaking um a person, of course our trust should be number one, trust should be in God.
Of
But if I
course.
had to say, okay, let me borrow some trust, I would definitely pick my mother because I saw how she trusted God.
I love that. Lashika?
I would also have to say one, trust God. Two, I would definitely trust my mom. She is a praying, godly woman that no matter what the situation is, she's going to always, tell the truth and be, she's that person where no matter what I tell her, she's not going to tell me what I want to hear.
Mm.
She's going to tell me the truth. So no matter how much I may be like, well, whose side you're on, baby, this is, this is what I feel, this is what I believe. And um my mom would definitely be the person I would go to and say, can I borrow some trust? Because she has never failed me yet.
Oh, I love that. Miss Jacqueline?
If I had to choose, because I had the honor and privilege of meeting Levitra's mother when she was alive. And she was a wonderful, wonderful spirit in person. And she was always encouraging because in the play, there's a part where she says, you look like somebody stole your joy or your day. And, we have to get this back and press on because God got this and it's going to get better. So it would have been Levitra's mom.
Oh, I love that. Jamal?
Not to piggyback off of everyone else, but first and foremost, we have to trust God because He is the creator, He's the ruler of all things, including trust.
Mhm.
Um, but as far as someone that I will borrow trust from, personally, it would be my mom, you know, her mom, her grandma. The women in my family have been, I mean, I wouldn't be who I am today without them. It was their trust in God, it was their belief in me, it was their uh, guidance and their wisdom that got me where I am today. So I would definitely borrow trust from them. But as far as my character, I love this question because essentially his entire role in this play is asking Valerie to trust him,
Mm.
to trust who he is, to trust that he won't be the man that she just left.
Oh wow.
Um, so yeah, that's my take on it.
Ruth. Well, no, no. Before I go to Ruth, Levitra, you over there, rubbing yourself. Pick,
Ooh, that
Stick to
was
it. Stick
chills,
to it.
honey.
Stick to
That
it.
was chills. Ooh, Jamal, you did that. But and before you go to Ruth, Miss Todd, this question has never been asked in an interview, and it's just doing something to me because I never really thought of an answer.
Mm.
Whew.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Ruth, tag you're it.
So I would say, and it's kind of crazy how this correlates, but for me personally, I would say my younger brother, we're super close, and he's just somebody that I can just, if I need to go to him for anything, I just know he's gonna be there. If I need to vent, he's always gonna be that listening ear. So in any shape, form, or fashion, I know, okay, my brother's gonna be there. So it kind of ties into the stage play being Valerie's sister. So leaning on a sibling and having that sibling bond to be able to say, hey, I'm here for you, I support you. So just hoping that Valerie trusts that I do, that Tiffany does have her best interest at heart. So yeah,
I
I would
love
say that.
that. So I'm gonna come back to you again before we go to the next question. I do want to ask, because you are also, again, thank you for your service. You're in that world, which can be heavy and emotional in itself, but then your character who is trying to support your sister. How do you balance the heavy emotional content while maintaining your own peace?
That's a great question, and that's probably one that I really don't have an answer for because I feel like I don't know, it kind of something that's kind of just like the ebbs and flow of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I me personally, I'm one of the people that even before the military, I was always I'm just me. You're just gonna get the same me, no matter what's going on in my world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're just gonna get just me. And during my time in the military, and it just kind of made me realize, and then going through my past relationship situation, it kind of helped me realize that okay, I'm human. I don't have to put up this wall. I don't have to be just this one way to save face for anybody else. So um it's definitely being able to I think one of the reasons why I even auditioned for this or just getting into the acting scene in general is just to be able to get that side of me out. The side of me that always felt like I had to cover up or just, show one way when I'm feeling all these other ways. So being on stage and being able to be that support system or and carry that weight and all that other stuff, it kind of helps me personally. It ties in. So yeah, that was
Love
a
that.
great question.
Love that. Now, for all of you, have this or how has Can I Borrow Some Trust changed your perspective on trust? Jamal, start with you. How has or has it changed your perspective on trust?
I'm sorry. So it's it's kind of an interesting question because I've always been a very trusting person, and a lot of times that has led to the detriment of myself and others around me.
Mm,
So it's helped me to really evaluate who's deserving of my trust.
mm,
Excuse me. It's one thing to to offer help to someone, to say, okay, you can trust me to do this, you can trust me to help you here or whatever. But to actually be able to trust someone with the real, the raw emotions, the to trust someone with the dark nights that you don't feel like yourself. Excuse me. To trust somebody with those moments where you can go and say, I am not okay right now. I need somebody to support me. I need somebody to depend on. Not everyone is deserving of that side of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this has really kind of helped me to, like I said, evaluate and rethink um, who really is worthy or deserving of trust. And honestly, it's sad because in doing so, you even look at your family members, your closest friends who before this you thought, okay, yeah, I can trust them with anything. And then you go back and look at maybe their track record, or you go back and think, okay, it's really it's sort of a evaluation of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
along with the different people in your life. But that's how it's affected me as far as who I can trust. And I'm glad to say I got quite a few solid people in my corner that I can really depend on. But I've also had to maybe pull back from a few folks.
Sure.
And that's okay. That's the way life is.
I love that. So, Jacqueline, we're not going
Yes.
to use the word just because you're not just the narrator, right? That's an important role as well, right? You're delivering a message in your part that you play within this play itself. So, how has the play changed your perspective on trust?
Um, like Jamal, and to piggyback off him, I'm a very trusting person. I believe anything and everything people tell me. But I've learned that you can trust and depend on God at all times. And most of the time, that's where you need to go to and who you need to talk to, because He will either send that right person to you at the right time, or somebody might say, "Oh, the Lord told me to do this for you," or whatever. So it just taught me to lean on God a whole lot more and trust Him above anything and anybody, because He will never fail you.
I love that. Lashika?
So for me, we all know, well, I've learned that you can't trust everybody. Um, and when people show you who they are, believe them. So with this play or in life, I've always learned that I kind of have that spirit of discernment where I know who I can and can't trust. And one thing I will say, if somebody could come to you and gossip about somebody that they're close to, watch that person,
Mm,
because they could be doing the same thing about you. So life itself has a way of, you have to figure out who you can and who you can't trust in life. And I have a few that I can trust, and some is so much that so far I could go with them. However, we're all human, and like Jacqueline said, first and foremost, you got to lean on God, trusting Him.
absolutely.
So,
What I'm gathering from all of you so far is trust but verify, right?
absolutely.
What I love to say, trust but verify. All right. So, Ruth, for you, how does this perspective has it changed your perspective on trust?
I would say that it helped to further solidify what I'm learning trust to be. Like everybody said, first and foremost, trust God.
Mm,
And then I say trust yourself, trust your decisions. Like Lashika said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Trust what you're seeing, like to be what it is, in order to make the decisions that you need to make, with the help of God to move forward. So I would say it's definitely helped me to realize that it's okay to trust in yourself. It's okay if you need to leave, if you need to, whatever you need to do, whatever decision you need to take, to get to healing. Trust that you making the right decision.
Absolutely. All right, Miss Levitra, the brains behind it all.
Okay, so I would say that there are many levels of trust. It's a process, but the biggest thing that I've learned, excuse me, is everybody's not the same. There was a time that I would look at people, and if they look like my ex-husband, I'm not trusting you. But I had to be delivered from that, because there are still good people out there. So basically, you just have to trust and know that trust can be broken. And because trust is broken, that doesn't mean that it has to break you. I've learned to be resilient. I had to learn to forgive. So now it's like I bounce back. Somebody breaks my trust, I bounce back. And so I don't let it just keep me in a place that of unforgiveness or just bitter. Because have I had many people to break my trust after divorce? Yes. So I've learned that it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with me because somebody is not trustworthy. So you just learn to continue to rely on God, take it as a learning experience, and keep moving forward.
I love that. Now I'm going to ask Lashika and Levitra this question here.
Mhm.
What role does faith play in the story's journey towards restoration? What role does faith play in the story's journey towards restoration as it relates to this play?
So I think faith and trust go hand in hand, and faith in knowing that God can restore you and bring you to that point of happiness and peace in your life. Just knowing that there can be a happily ever after, forgiving and knowing that you have to be positive, have a positive outlook, and have that faith to know that whatever's happened in your past does not determine your future.
Good stuff.
I I would agree with Levitra as well, and you gotta have faith no matter what. Faith is what carries you, and at the end of the day, knowing that you having faith, your strength comes behind that. So I totally agree with what Miss Levitra said.
Good stuff. Now, Jamal and Ruth, why is forgiveness such a powerful theme in this production? Why is forgiveness such a powerful theme in this production?
That's a great question. Excuse me. Forget when it comes to this production, forgiveness is not just about is just like life. Forgiveness isn't about saying it's okay what you did to me. Forgiveness is saying I'm choosing myself over what you did to me. I'm choosing to be who I was when you met me. No, excuse me, not who you were when you met when we met, but who I've become. You know, I'm choosing to be better. I'm choosing to grow. Forgiveness is about growth. Well, when it with this stage play and also with life, forgiveness is not for the other people. It's for yourself. Choosing to believe that God is not finished with you yet just because of what you've been through. Choosing to believe that God is using what you went through to make you a better person. Um, so that's my take on it.
Ruth?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jamal. I would also say that when you forgive others, you also have to allow yourself to forgive yourself. Being in a situation, as Valerie is in the stage play, you often see where women, or could be men as well, beat themselves up about not taking the steps that they need to take sooner in order to leave the situation. So you can't be so hard on yourself. You have to realize that, you have your own thought process when it comes to being comfortable and having the faith and the trust in God to make the steps that you need to take. So forgiveness, forgive the other person, and also forgive yourself and give yourself grace. So that's one thing that I take away from this stage play.
Love that. Lashika, what makes Can I Borrow Some Trust a necessary story for today's world?
Because it happens in real life. Someone you may know, or you may have been through it. Is reality, is truth, and this is what happens to marriages, um, relationships. I mean, is real. Is real.
Okay, Jacqueline, your take on that. What makes Can I Borrow Some Trust a necessary story for today's world?
And to piggyback off of what they're saying, because it's real life. And as the speaker in my speech, there's a part where I say, because girl, when life starts lifing, it just do what it do. And life happens that are beyond our control. And you can't beat yourself up because you try to do the best you can. You can only control yourself, your thoughts. And no matter how much you want change for the other person, they have to want change for themselves. They have to see that there's a problem and that things need to be fixed. But just trust on God and just be more mindful, be kind to other people, because you never know what they're living with, what they're dealing with and going through at home behind closed doors. So be kind to one another.
I love that. Now, Levitra, what legacy do you hope this production leaves behind? What legacy do you hope this production leaves behind?
I hope that not only my daughters, but others, children, young adults will see the importance of trusting God before entering into marriage, seeking God's face and knowing who He has for you. So, most importantly, that my daughters will select or be chosen by the person that God has for them. But for anybody who is contemplating marriage or remarrying, that they will just put their trust in God.
Absolutely. So, cast, including Levitra, the writer director, if you would like the listeners to follow and support you, please share your social media handles, your websites, and briefly any businesses you have, as well as any other projects that you're currently working on. So, if you can share those handles, let's start with Jamal.
Yes. You can. Well, I'm working on a few different projects right now, um, including this one. I am getting ready to make my directorial debut uh, in the first movie that I wrote. Um, we're getting ready to shoot that in the next few months here, and I'll actually have an opportunity for people to come out and actually be a part of the movie. It's called Scars, um, but that'll be shooting uh, in the fall here. As far as my social media handles, you can follow me. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Um, sorry, I'm actually trying to pull up my handle right now. Forgive me.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you. All right, is anybody
Okay.
else ready? Lashika, you want to go?
Yes, so you could follow me on IG, which is Daughter of a King 38, Facebook, which is Lashika, and my TikTok, Shika G ATL 404. My upcoming projects that I have, including this play here, is another stage play, What a Woman Wants, A Man Needs to Know, which is on August 15th here in Atlanta, Georgia, directed and written by Mr. Orlando Anderson. I am also in a movie which is called It Started with Hello. No Nickel and Dime production. Sister JJ is the director. And also my upcoming movie, which should be getting ready to do the premiere, A Change of Hearts, which is also directed by Mr. Orlando Anderson, that was filmed here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. All right, Jacqueline.
Well, I fell into this by accident. By day, I'm a cosmetologist and a salon owner. And I just happened to show up to support Levitra because we know each other at one of her rehearsals. And one of the cast members wasn't able to make it that day. So I kind of just stepped in and fill in because I'm a behind the scenes person. So, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I love it that they can catch you in October, their campaign.
Sure will.
There you go. All right, Ruth.
Hey, so on Facebook, my name is Ruth Walker. On Instagram, you can find me under Simply Ruth, and then TikTok as well as Simply Ruth 33. I am currently in three stage plays, all of which will be held in October. Um, Ministry Begins at Home is one of the newer ones that I'm a part of, by Miss Devin Casey. That will be in October, and then Folk, we just previously had a show, and we are having another show in Sumter, South Carolina at the Patriot Hall on October 17th. And that is written and directed by Dr. F.E. Hilton Mitchell. And that will be on the 17th. And then, as you all know, this will be on the 4th. So, like I said, you can find me on Facebook. That's where most of the information is usually shared. Ruth Walker.
Love that. Everybody's booked and busy. All right, Jamal, you ready?
Yes, I am ready now. Thank you.
Let's get it. Let's go.
All right. Check me out on TikTok at Jamal Brown, 5465. You can check me out on Facebook at just Jamal Brown. Make sure to check me out on Tubi. My latest movie is called JB Stars Murderer Among Us. Great movie. Is I also had the pleasure of starring alongside Dr. Jermaine Johnson, who's running for governor of South Carolina right now. And check me out on Instagram, Pastor Perry 1993.
All right, good stuff. Now, the amazing Miss Levitra, while you're giving yours, in conjunction with that, will you also share the city, state, date, time, venue, and where tickets will be available for this amazing stage play, Can I Borrow Some Trust?
Okay. I am a part of Mama B's Press and Curl, directed by King True. I am currently in a stage play, Ministry Begins at Home, as well with Ruth Walker. That is directed by Devin Casey here in Orangeburg. That will be in October as well. And of course, Can I Borrow Some Trust will be held October 4th at 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock at the Fine Arts Center on South Carolina State College in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Tickets are now on sale today. Those can be found on Eventbrite. $20 early bird from now through August 31st. After that, general admission is $25 and $12 for students. I am Levitra Sullivan on Facebook and Instagram, and my website is rightdivisionllc.com.
Love that. And guys, to make sure you spell her name correctly, it's LaVetrasullivan. So just to kind of give that plug there. All right.
Yes.
Now, is there any additional information that you would like to share, Levitra? Or anything you would like to impart on our listeners?
I just hope that they will come out on October 4th and support. This is our third year. This is the first year that we are doing two productions in 1 year. We went to Baltimore in June and we had a blast. So we're looking to take this stage play on the road. If you are a church or organization and you would like for us to come and perform, just reach out to me and we'll be there.
Love that. Jacqueline, did you want to say something?
Just come out and support us. Having a great time being a part of this amazing cast. You will laugh, you will cry, you will take something away from this, and I hope everybody leaves there empowered.
Love that. Now, listen, everybody. I'm going to have Lavitra give us those prices once again because I don't know if you heard them or not. You have no excuse. We go to Starbucks, we go to Target, we shop on TikTok Shop or whatever other platform that you want to go through. When I just heard those prices, I was like, oh, there is no reason why everybody should not be in the building, right? So once again, Lavitra, share those prices and where they can purchase those tickets at one more time.
Early bird special starts today on Eventbrite, $20 from now through August 31st. After that, ticket prices are $25. They can be purchased on Eventbrite or from any cast member, and student prices are $12.
And on Eventbrite, what is that tagline? What is it labeled? Is it labeled I can, can you
Can
borrow
I borrow some
trust?
trust?
Can you borrow some trust? So, guys, you heard it there. $20, $25. Stop. Be serious. Let's get it. Let's go. Go get your tickets today on Eventbrite. Can I borrow some trust? So, family, tonight has been nothing short of extraordinary. We laughed, we reflected, we felt the weight of truth, and we witnessed the brilliance behind Can I Borrow Some Trust? The cast and the creative team have poured their hearts into a story that reminds us that trust is not borrowed, it is built, it is protected, and restored through honesty, accountability, and love. So, to our listeners, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting the arts, and thank you for choosing truth over comfort. Until next time, stay inspired, stay authentic, and stay connected on Hindsight Media Radio, 103.5 FM, where there is always something good to talk about. Visit our website at www.hindsightmediaradio.com. And again, thank you to Lashika, Lavitra, Jacqueline, Ruth, and Jamal, and the amazing King Truth as they join us and come with Can I Borrow Some Trust in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Be there. Do not miss it. October the 4th at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Get your tickets today. $20, $25. Matter of fact, just do a donation of $50. Make it even greater. You got it. Make it win. You win. And all great things. Have a great night.